And welcome back to Janky AF and Year of the Aerostar, episode number 135. Oh, so good to be back. There's always Aerostar stuff going on in the background, but we're trying to give you a documentation of my janky life just to show you that there's a lot of other stuff going on too. I got a great sweater here today. We're down in the new renovated art area. If you've been watching my janky life, you'll see that. But I don't like to get too topical. Anywho, you can catch that on our other little program. But hopefully we'll be in this is like Janky Town, 46.5 and a half. Hopefully we'll be here for a while. In the meantime, during that time, we can talk about a bunch of Aerostars. I am still on the hunt for an Aerostar, and we got this insurance money, so we can if we play our cards right, we can get a quote-unquote free Aerostar. That's how I'm pitching it anyways. And I think we might be getting close, but I don't want to give, we'll just leave it at that. And today we have a fantastic candidate, so let's take a look. Without further ado, here we have a 1997 Ford Aerostar listed for $2,000 in Somerville, Massachusetts, the great state of Massachusetts. Shout out to Berto. You may have seen him commenting on here once in a while. Berto, how are you? I have something to send you in the mail, but we'll discuss that in person. Anyways, doesn't live in Somerville, but that's all right. And shout out to Sizzler while we're at it. Okay, getting very sidetracked here. We'll do about this vehicle and then we'll talk about it. A little rusty here as always here on Janky AF, but thank you for watching. Driven 100,000 miles. I doubt that's exactly accurate, but ballpark. Automatic transmission, exterior color white, interior color gray. Fuel type is gasoline. One owner, it's claiming, and it is fully paid off. Seller's description: posting for a family member. He doesn't have Facebook. This has been going on an awful lot lately, and I'm kind of happy about it, honestly. Like, we went to look at something on Marketplace today, and we had to deal with multiple people because one person didn't have Facebook, and so I think the daughter or something had to hook us up with the father, yada yada. Anyways, it's just a good sign that less people are on Facebook. But here we are on Facebook Marketplace because as of now it is the best place to find Ford Aerostars. Anyways, another digression there. His name is Gregory. Call him. One sentence, comma, cell number in last picture. I like intimating tone based on the grammar of the, or lack thereof, but I shouldn't say that because there is grammar. This is one of the things I always say. The only thing that matters, while it's fun to sort of like play with the classical quote-unquote rules of grammar, it's also fun to see the different grammatical styles out there. And this one thing I always sort of preach is that grammar can only be judged by how successful it is in communicating what is being expressed. And so I read you loud and clear here, seller. You got a sweet Aerostar you're dangling in front of me. Message received. I will not answer Facebook messages. I have nothing to do with the sale, just trying to help out. So, they're laying it right out there. Like, don't text me, don't call me, don't click the button that says, is this available? But if you are interested in this Aerostar, here is how you can acquire it. And so what more can you ask, right? All right, so, let's go back to the title. We're bearing the lead here. This is called a Ford, in uppercase F, and then Astro Star, 2 words, Astro Star, both in lowercase. Now this is so funny because I just sent my buddy Evan, who owns a 1986 Aerostar that he purchased from me, also purchased my Jetta, obviously good taste, and I just sent him a picture of an Astro, and I was saying, the Astro Aerostar thing, a lot of people mistake the Aerostar for an Astro, which obviously this person has kind of halfway done. And people say, oh, the Astro van, your Astro. People that know me and know my obsession with the Aerostar, and no shade, it's not their it's not their responsibility to keep up with my weird niche, minivan fetish I have. But it is just funny how it's never the other way around. It's always people mistaking the Aerostar for an Astro, and when people see an Astro or an Aerostar, they think it's an Astro. So this is funny, and I've seen this before. This is not the first time I've seen this. A couple documented cases where people will sort of fuse the Aerostar and the Astro and call it an Astrostar, and it's very interesting. And I love the Astro van. I have nothing bad to say about the Astro van, but the Aerostar is kind of the de facto underdog just because it didn't, even though it ran for 12 years, the Astro ran, I believe, from 85 to 2004. However, it went through more changes than the Aerostar did, so therefore the Aerostar is still a more like singular vehicle, in my opinion. But so the Aerostar kind of lives in the Astro's shadow, and so I think it's this funny thing where people then project that onto the Aerostar. So we always have like, I don't want to say a chip on our shoulder, at least speaking for myself, but I think there is like there's an underdog mentality there somehow, and that the Aerostar is sort of overlooked or underappreciated. Again, I can only speak for myself. That's how I feel about it. So this one is called an Astrostar, which is funny. 97, as you can see by the taillights here, that is finally your taillights. No amber. Get the basic stuff out of the way here. I love the body match bumpers, and the fact that both bumpers are intact is wonderful. I don't know why this two-tone stripe has been applied, and if we'll get into it later, it's probably a rust repair that they just painted black. It's a common thing, but it almost looks like it's like a vinyl applied thing, which I don't know why they would do that. Other than, it's probably rust repair. That's usually when you see a black strip that looks kind of janky on a white car. They didn't do it just. It's because they really wanted a black stripe on their car. Most of the times, just speaking anecdotally. They did it because they covered up some rust, and then they were trying to, primer. It's not like duplicitous. It's not like in many cases, I think it's not like they're trying to hide something. But it's just usually, for whatever reason, that black stripe just like mimics a two-tone, which you do see sometimes. So it's like, it's just an easy way out. It's fine. Now I see a funny, and I'm not, taking the easy way out is often the janky way. So I'm not bemoaning that. This is a funny thing. I wonder what was on there, and it has a cage in it. So I'm wondering if maybe this was just a guess here, maybe it had previous life as a postal vehicle, because sometimes they'll see that big mirror. I had this on my Transit Connect, that big mirror so you can see behind you, in the little fisheye lens. It's not that practical, honestly, but, and then the metal cage inside a passenger vehicle, and the fact that it's white, could have been a post office vehicle, but we don't know. And part of me wonders about that as we see the beautiful, this is a great shot. This has got to be the cover photo, right? I love when there's just an uninterrupted shot of the front of the Aerostar. It has the most beautiful face, and depending on, the depth of field of the camera, it can either look really wedgy or it can look really boxy. It's interesting. And you realize when you see it in more of a telephoto shot, how low down the lights are in the totality of the vehicle. I had a great comment, and I apologize, I don't remember who made it, but it was saying how the Aerostar, cars like in this era, like nowadays trucks, like the hood, the sight line of your truck is so high, and it's really not good for pedestrian safety. And the Aerostar, you ride up, when you're sitting in it, you feel like you're riding up pretty high. It doesn't feel like you're in like a low-slung sports car. However, you have a fantastic field of vision. There's not that much in front of you, and it slopes down. So you really have a good like sort of greenhouse and also just, exterior vision in the vehicle. And you see how low the lights are. The lights are almost at the height of a car, but then the hood rises up, and it's kind of a tall vehicle with a low, that was one of the nice things about it. It has a low point of entry, so if you're loading stuff in the back or climbing the side, has a step up, but it's relatively easy to get in for a bigger vehicle for a van. Just one of the many advantages of the Aerostar. Okay, great shot here, front 3/4. These hubcaps are interesting. They do look Ford, but they're not ones I recognize from an Aerostar. Maybe this was like a 97 only thing, but I have a feeling these are from like a Taurus, which is funny. But I like modifying things with like a loose thing, like you're keeping it Ford, but it doesn't necessarily have to be from the actual specific model. I think that's always cool to like mix and match from the same OEM. It's kind of fun. Nice grille, nice chrome bezels. I'm such a sucker for body matching bumpers, and I think, which makes me probably why I'm complaining about this black stripe, because I really want to see the whole thing white. And just to give this thing a wash, it looks fine. I like janky cars, but just to see this white shine up, it would look so cool. It really makes me want an all-white Aerostar with the white. Something about the white bumpers. Maybe just because when you're used to seeing white Aerostars, you see a lot of cargo Aerostars. they have the gray plastic bumpers, and just generally most Aerostars had gray plastic bumpers of any color, but on white they seem particularly striking. All black Aerostar also fantastic, and very rare, but the white Aerostar a little bit more common. And another thing we should note here, as this is up on ramps, which is a little concerning, or good if they were just changing the oil, is you see a badge here, and obviously it's low res, but most of you probably already know what that badge is. Okay, it looks like we have, I honestly can't tell. It's probably the, yeah, it doesn't look like the 3, and I'm kind of cheating here because I kind of know that, but interesting that these little scoops in the hood, is that actually penetrating the hood? I saw something going on in the hood in this last picture, but it looks like they're actually air vents. I wonder if this was overheating. I never know. I was wondering what those were. I thought it was just like duct tape or something. Those are little air vents in the hood, which is fantastic. And you can see them cut out there. Boy, this is really endearing me to this Aerostar. Nice badging. I love that shot. I mean, boy, they were man after my own heart, taking this picture of that badge. It's just so nice to see. And then the electronic 4-wheel drive. There it is. So ding, 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 we got a 4-wheel drive. See, this is what I mean. Like, it doesn't look like necessarily a paint line. It is really crisp, but it almost looks like a vinyl striping going on here. But then again, if I look over here, maybe there's a little bit more overspray and maybe even bed liners. Maybe it just is a nice tape job there. So anywho, I don't know, I keep dwelling on that. Okay, great inside picture. Look at all this crap in here. I mean, if there's bikes, there's racks, air hoses and compressors, tools hung on the wire mesh. There's some sort of cart here. I thought I saw a fishing pole, but maybe not. Bungees, and then you have a whole giant tool chest here, all these tools on the side. Just a testament. And the hanging stuff from the top I really like, because that just creates a whole other level of room. Really fantastic. And it's just a testament to how much stuff you can really fit in an Aerostar. And I love the fact that it's a lift gate, but kind of a cargo. I mean, it looks like it does have an interior. I really wonder if this is a post office vehicle with that metal cage in there. But I didn't know, the thing I was going to say is I didn't know if they made post office vehicles in all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It would make sense that they did, because a lot of them were in northeast climates, so that would make sense, especially in the winter. I don't know how those people drive the little Grummins around in the winter. Apparently they're decent at getting up hills, but for a while, the Postal Service did use Aerostars, just another little, feather in their cap, and I'm wondering if this was one of them. Okay, another thing that I almost forgot about, and then I re-noticed, look at this. There's a moonroof in this Aerostar. Very un-Postal Service spec. I mean, I've never heard of an Aerostar, maybe some camper conversions, but this may be a first. I don't know if I've ever seen an Aerostar with a moonroof, and it looks like, maybe Ford offered it, but it looks like a pretty professional job with the headliner and everything. Like, that looks pretty well done. And boy, I can't imagine what a moonroof would do on an Aerostar. Just driving at night in an Aerostar and pop the moonroof open. And now it looks like it might only just crack open, which is kind of funny, but it is clear. So you still get the stars coming in the fresh air. Not much to look at in terms of the seats, because it does have these covers over it, which is fine. I like the blanket style. The interior doesn't look horrible. There's not like a lot of staining going on in the steering wheel. That's a very common thing you see. Oh, and there's Gregory's. Well, I usually try not to give this information away, but I figure why not? It's public. So if anyone is looking at the Aerostar, and maybe I shouldn't give it out, because that means that, it's going to be competition kind of. But not too far away. $2,000. Interesting. We would have to talk to Gregory and see what kind of condition it's in. If it's in good running condition, the fact that it's up on ramps in all these pictures is not really a great sign. Yeah, the optics of that's a little strange. But if it's like in good running condition, I mean, an all-wheel drive Aerostar, we know it commands a huge premium. We had two really nice, I got to get to this, but there's been multiple Aerostars sold on Bring a Trailer now. And, excuse me, I think the first two on Bring a Trailer, there's one on Cars and Bids, and then Bring a Trailer was like $7 or $8 grand. I think that might have been episode 100 year of the Aerostar, actually. And then we had an all-wheel drive that went for like almost double that. So there's a huge premium on four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive Aerostars. It's the XLT model, which is interesting. So maybe it wasn't a Postal. I don't know. It's a mystery. Maybe some of you fine Aerostar sleuths out there know exactly about the Postal Service spec or how weird it would be. Maybe this just was a cargo with a liftgate, but an all-wheel but it's got windows too. So very, interesting spec here. I love the white bumpers. I love that it's all-wheel drive. I love that it'd just be a fantastic. Like I really want to get, there's a lot of different types of Aerostars I would get, and the green one may just turn into this now because it's hit the deer and we've got janky body panels on it. But I would love just like a work Aerostar, a ladder hauling car, so I wouldn't have to put my roof rack on my Prius and carry big ladders on my Prius. Anytime I got to move ladders for work, just take the Aerostar. I don't really move ladders in winter anyways. It'd be perfect. So that's, when thinking about getting like another Aerostar, it's like there's so many different specs. That's the beauty of it. There's a million different Aerostar specifications I would want, like different manuals, like different interior options. I've never had one with power windows, cargos, the barn doors, the shorties, the longs, the manual transmissions. There's so many cool camper versions. I would love an Aerostar ice cream truck. That'd be so cool, especially for the Aerostar Museum one day. But really solid, kind of janky. I would want it to be. I would probably do nothing to it aesthetically. You just keep it as, maybe just paint the stripe white. But then I would probably just, try to jank it up as much as possible. Put some sweet like amber, rally lights on it. Really deck it out. Get it the windshield guards. Get the roof rack on it. I think it would be really, really cool. I do wonder how the liftgate works with a roof rack, but I would imagine it's not the end of the world. You probably just can't open it all the way. Maybe with a tall roof rack, though, you actually could. So there you have it. I'm very smitten with this Aerostar, and that's all I'm going to say. It is still for sale, so you never know how things could go one way or another. I'll leave it at that. I'm not making any promises. But of all the ones we've looked at recently, this is just from a logistical standpoint, it's very close, relatively. If it really would just depend on the condition of the vehicle. So who knows? Maybe it wouldn't be a terrible thing to call Gregory and just explore this. But you do have his number out there, Internet. So if you beat me to it, there's nothing I can do. And if anyone does buy this, I would love to hear from you and hear the whole story of this vehicle. Well, I think that might do it for this episode of Year of the Aerostar, episode number 135. It's great to be back. I made it like halfway through responding to your comments. And Janky do thank you for the wonderful amount of comments. A shout out here, if anyone's watching, he just posted a new video and I have to go watch it. Mullet Creations is the YouTube channel, I believe. Seems like a real nice fella. And he's building like a rock crawler Aerostar, and he thinks he's going to call it the Rockstar, which I'm pushing for. It's a great name that he came up with. And it's a red sport, but he's doing like really cool, crazy things to it. I don't want to give it away. You should go watch it. But really, really fun to watch. So maybe, who knows, in the future sometime we can do like an Aerostar collab or something like that. I could go out and like review the vehicle after he's done. We'll see. Anywho, shout out to Mullet Creations. Great Aerostar build. It's cool to see Aerostar builds. It's cool to see someone take an Aerostar and do a build on it like people do nowadays. Just something custom, tailored to exactly what they want, and doing it on a budget. And that's what I really, really appreciate, is like he's innovative. He's doing all the work, doing every single thing himself. And it's just cool to see him assemble the parts and the knowledge he has with different skill sets, welding and mechanicals and all this stuff. So it's really, really cool to watch. So shout out, and if you see that, go follow that. Definitely subscribe to his channel and watch his Aerostar build. And stay tuned here on Janky AF for more Year of the Aerostar. We are marching into the future. I want to really, every episode is a joy, and I live for the day when we can get to 365 episodes, because that'll be really cool to truly have a Year of the Aerostar. 366 for Leap Day. Okay, that was a long-winded ramble to finish up here, but I mean, I'm just gonna keep it on the shot. We'll cycle through one more time for everybody at home to see these great images of this Aerostar. And if you want to screen grab Gregory's number one more time, you can. But a gem of an Aerostar. That sunroof is so cool. What a little party trick in an Aerostar, and you can see how capable it is. And again, all-wheel drive. The rust doesn't look horrible on it. You know, you never know. You got to see the frame and everything, but it really doesn't look that bad. It looks like a lot of surface rust. I love the weird air vents for the. So great. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I'll try to respond to the rest of the comments. It's always a pleasure to respond to those, and I apologize if it takes me a while, but as you'll see in the next episode of My Janky Life, we're living a crazy, chaotic, janky existence here, and we do appreciate your patience and your patronage in terms of watching these episodes. Okay, that's it for now. Have a wonderful day out in the Aero universe, and we will have another episode of Year of the Aerostar coming very soon here to Janky F. And until then, Janky do Thanky.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.